Today I'm gonna work a little bit on the turtles piece I'm doing. I'm gonna work on Leonardo here. Just like before, I'm using a really light sketch with a 2H pencil. Just kind of trying to get the feel for the pose. What I'm gonna do is, it seems like they're gonna be jumping down in my head, like in a back alley or something, and Leo is the last one to, I don't know, jump off the roof. So he's gonna be at the top of the picture, or where he is right now. Mikey's gonna be at the bottom, and that's actually Donatello jumping last. Leonardo's gonna be a little bit below Donatello. One thing that's always kind of been difficult for me with drawing turtles is the heads, and not because I can't draw the heads, but I have so many favorite versions of how other artists have drawn heads. A.C. Farley is probably my favorite. He did more of a blocky look, but then you have Dooney, who did more of a roundish look. That's closer to the animation. The animation, however, I was not a big fan of that look. Jim Lawson also had a blocky look with the heads. I don't think a lot of fans are too enamored by those type of heads. I mean, even Eastman and Laird's heads I like a lot too, but they are kind of not how you would associate the turtles. I'm trying really hard to get the anatomy and the angle right on the arms. Not normally positioned. I usually draw the way I want the hands to. Doesn't really match up with the anatomy. You'll see later how I have to change those around just because it looks too odd to me. All the anatomy, by the way, is just from memory and like muscle memory, and not from any reference that I have in front of me, though that would be helpful. I haven't found a good statue or anything that's got good muscle reference. I used to powerlift when I was a teenager and was actually pretty good at it, so I got into a lot of researching physiology and anatomy, and learned a lot about my anatomy through that, which included powerlifting magazines, but also bodybuilding magazines and books on muscle. So a lot of that I think I have down pat, but it's the, how do I say, the way, like, say the arm turns in certain positions, certain things shouldn't move the way they do in comics, and that kind of bugs me. So when I notice it, I try to fix it, or I end up redoing the whole thing. And again, I've gone back in with a darker H-lead pencil. It's just so I can see. I'm moving slowly to blue line, but it doesn't work on pieces that aren't meant to be polished. In other words, pieces that I mean to have as finished art when it's done, because, well, you see the blue lines and that's not always appealing. Whereas something that is just going to be for print, or just intended for print, it's not so important, because you're not looking at the original art, you're looking at art that's been processed in a way that the blue lines are gone, and you never know that they're there. That's a lot of older comics are done that way, also using red lines. I've had to overdub this video because the last one, I guess one of the songs got tagged for copyright infringement, but I never intended those to be public, so it doesn't bother me so much, but just so I don't get in trouble or risk losing my attempt to get back to having monetization, I'm just gonna do some overdubbing. I was listening to a podcast anyway. I tried to edit it so the podcast was out and you would hear the scritch of my pencil and my breathing, which is winter breathing. In other words, a lot of sniffles. So went back and edited myself on the legs. Initially, the rough layout, the left leg was way up too high and out too far. So once I got the front shell piece done, I adjusted and brought it back into where it should be, and as a result I also had to adjust the lower leg, but I ended up liking it. I also later on have to do some adjustments to one of the arms and, like I said, the hands. See, the problem here is I had both the hands facing away from him, and that's kind of an awkward, like with the way the forearms are going, it just looks awkward. Like I'd have to twist the forearms in a way I don't know how to twist them. So I end up having to redo it so the hands are facing away from him, which seems more natural as far as how it looks. I think if his elbows were in more, it would be good to have the hands facing out, but I have them spread out more, so I had to make the adjustments. So right here I'm taking the ruler to line it up so I can make those adjustments and make sure I get it just right. This might be my moment where I'm really thinking about it, because it's always weird to have the thumbs facing the outside or going on the outside, and that's exactly what I have to consider here. At first I thought I was going to have maybe one hand back, one forward, kind of like a deadlift grip, but again, I was looking at how that forearm is turned and it just did not work. The only natural positions are either away or turned sideways, and obviously he can't hold his bow staff with one of his hands sideways, so I had to do that. Although now I think about it, if I put Mikey there, I could have had him with his nunchucks. I don't know. Maybe I'll still change it, because now I'm talking myself into it. And at the ink stage, things may change again. So I'm always constantly editing and checking myself and taking a step back to look and see how it looks overall. So yeah, here's the other hand going backwards. And then I had the hand going backwards at a weird angle, because the pinky was facing inwards, and the other arm, the pinky was facing inwards as well, and it just looked very, very odd. And the hand ended up looking a little oversized. So I decided to just go straight on back of the hand look, reinforcing some lines so I can see them better. I have a tendency to get lost in lines if I don't darken some up so I can actually see what I'm doing. I don't have such a great quick memory to remember what I was thinking when I laid down rough lines, so the quicker I can move to making them darker, clean them up, the better. Oh, as I'm watching this, I am thinking maybe I should make that Michelangelo, because it would just look a lot better with the nunchucks. And then Mike's pose that I have for him, I think would be really good for the bow staff. So I have to keep that in mind. I might forget by the time I start drawing in Leo. This was also hard because the way my camera set up is I can't get it to overhang more than this on my desk, so I had to keep remembering to put the paper up. We've got a house now, so once I move out of the studio, I'll have a room there to work in, and now I will be able to do something a little bit better, I hope. I've got ideas. Because my desk is at a tilt, paper, everything tends to slide down, and I'd actually rather it be at even more of a tilt. But because I do these original pieces, I can't use a tack to hold down paper without damaging the artwork, so I have to do a little bit of a, I think, 45-degree angle. I don't do flat because it hurts my neck and my back. My back gets slightly sore from this angle as it is. And if it was up more at a steeper angle, it would be a lot better. But I gotta work with what I got. Eventually I'll be more used to it. Donatello's left arm too is it is kind of wonky. I mean, I'm watching this video right now, and it was giving me problems while I was drawing, and I wasn't quite happy with that. I kind of see what I can do, but again, I'm thinking maybe I'm just gonna make him Michelangelo, and then I can adjust the arm properly. See, the left arm should be at an angle similar to the right arm, but if I do that, his face would get covered, his head would get covered, and that kind of look odd. But I'm seeing where I can make some adjustments, so I might do the adjustments off camera just because I'd like to try and do each turtle as its own video, and then I'll make a quick video, sped up video for YouTube for public. Yeah, I keep having issues with that arm. Okay, that looks like this is the end of the video. Thanks for being a patron, and hope to have another one up soon. Ciao.